Hi, this is a tutorial on how to set up your projects in Nvivo. So this is for students who are using the Nvivo software either in the computer lab or on their personal device. So to create a new project, you select blank project and you give your project a title. I suggest you be as specific as possible. So I'm going to call it client project, and I'm going to also include my group name. I'm giving myself group 20. Here you'll see the location in which the project will be saved. If you want to change the location, you need to click browse and select the location that you like. Please be aware that Nvivo doesn't like to play in the cloud, so you might want to save it onto a regular hard drive, but store a copy in the cloud as a backup. Alright, I'm going to close the quick start steps. You can look at those. So in terms of Nvivo, the way it is set up is that the descriptions of the types of data are kept here on the left. So the types of data include the sources, so internal, external, memos, framework matrices. We have nodes, which are the codes that you will use. I'll show you those in a different video. Classifications, collections, queries. I suggest you look at a specialized Nvivo video to see what all of the things that Nvivo can do, because it is quite a powerful analysis tool. So we're actually interested today in sources because we need to get your academic literature and your secondary sources into Nvivo so you can begin your analysis. So selecting sources and then internals. So the best way to do these projects is to make sure that you manage your documents very carefully. So I'm going to show you how to set up folders so that you can see what type of data is located where. So on internals, right click, select new folder. I'm going to call this folder academic literature, and I can include a description. You might want to include the concepts that you looked for in terms of going in searching for your academic literature. And because we have a second source, I'm going to create another folder. Right click, new folder, secondary sources. Again, you might want to include the context issues that you search for to gather your secondary sources, and hit OK. Alright, so selecting the academic literature on the left-hand side here brings it up into, it means that in this location here is where the documents will be managed. So in this big square, you right click and you say import. And because all of my academic documents are PDFs, I choose to import PDFs. If you have a mixture, you will need to import your documents multiple times depending on the file type. Nvivo does need you to specify the type of file. So you have all of these type of files that can be imported, but for my academic literature, it's all in PDFs, so import PDFs. Alright, so my academic literature I have stored here. I select it all and say OK. And OK. Down the bottom you'll see a import bar that shows you its progress. The more files, the slower that import will go. So here we have my academic literature. You see I have some bad file naming going on here, so you can rename them once they're in here, I believe, but I don't know what this document is about, so I need to open it to have a look at it. So here we go. It's Marcus Giesler and Craig Thompson on process theorization. Okay, that's interesting. What's in this one? Introduction to special issue, mapping the boundaries of marketing. Okay, and because we're dealing with PDFs, it also includes a handy table at the side so you can go to various spots in the document. So those are our academic literature. So I need to get my secondary sources as well. So I go back to the left-hand side and I click secondary sources. So now this big box says secondary sources, but those documents that I opened remain open in this tab form. So I don't need to look at them now. I'm just going to close them out, so I don't need to look at them. So in the big box that now says secondary sources, I right click, I say import, and my secondary sources are in Word format, or if they are in RTF or Excel or anything else, you say import documents. So under my project documents, secondary sources, again, select them all. There's 100 in this file, so this is going to be a slower upload. And okay, so hidden behind my bar, but you can just see the green here. It's much slower, so I'm just going to pause while it finishes uploading. Okay, I'm back because my documents are now imported into Nvivo, so I can open them up again. So these documents are media sources about Lovelocks. So there we go, Lovelocks. So these are my secondary data with my academic literature all in one place, ready for me to begin the analysis. That will be in a different video, but now we are ready to go and start looking at what we have found in our secondary data.